Beijing's Great Wall and Berlin's Wall are two of the most famous walls in history, symbols of power, separation, and resiliency. These structures have influenced nations and civilizations for millennia. They are more than just physical boundaries. Taking us back thousands of years into Chinese history, let's begin our tour with the Great Wall of China. China was constantly threatened by northern nomadic tribes around the 7th century BC. Several Chinese dynasties started building what would eventually become the Great Wall in order to preserve their sovereignty and defend their civilization. The Great Wall, spanning more than 13,000 kilometers during its peak, was primarily a defensive structure. In addition to being built to fend off invaders, it was intended to function as a vital route for transportation and communication. Imagine an enormous construction, erected by hand using labor-intensive techniques like rammed earth, bricks, and stone, wending its way across untamed terrain. It demonstrated the engineering brilliance of ancient China with its watchtowers, barracks, and beacon towers. The Great Wall represents Chinese identity and unity in addition to its military purpose. It serves as a monument to the tenacious nature of the Chinese people and a symbol of their ability to withstand external attacks. Currently a UNESCO World Heritage Site, it welcomes millions of tourists every year. Let's switch to 20th century Europe and examine the Berlin Wall, which has a very different meaning and function. Berlin became the center of East-West hostilities during the Cold War. To stop the flow of immigrants to the democratic West, the Soviet Union-backed German Democratic Republic, East Germany in 1961, built the Berlin Wall almost instantly. In contrast to the defensive function of the Great Wall, the Berlin Wall served as a weapon of political repression and division. A physical and conceptual barrier between communism and democracy, dividing families, friends, and communities. This was a concrete barrier that cut through the center of Berlin, guarded with guard towers, barbed wire, and a no-man's land known as the Death Strip. It was a sobering reminder of the Cold War's Iron Curtain that divided Europe. Aside from being a physical barrier, the Berlin Wall represented a psychological and emotional division. Families were torn apart, and livelihoods were destroyed as East Germans risked and often lost their lives trying to get into the West. It became a worldwide emblem of oppression and the struggle for liberation. In essence, the Berlin Wall was a tool of political control that restricted the free flow of people and ideas, whereas the Great Wall protected against external threats. The Berlin Wall was constructed using modern concrete and surveillance technology, while the Great Wall of China took centuries to build using ancient materials and methods. Their differences can be attributed to their respective historical periods. China's unity, cultural legacy, and resistance to invasion are represented by the Great Wall. On the other hand, the Berlin Wall serves as a sobering reminder of the consequences of the Cold War by symbolizing division, repression, and the fight for freedom. The Great Wall is still a representation of Chinese creativity and culture today. As a cultural icon for the country and a window into China's rich past, it draws travelers from all over the world. An important turning point in history was the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989. It offered lessons in overcoming division and pursuing unity, and it marked the end of the Cold War and opened the door for German reunification. Looking back at these walls, we see timeless principles applicable to the modern world. They serve as a reminder of the intricacies of geopolitics, the ability of physical barriers to oppress and separate, and the human spirit's ability to persevere in the face of difficulty. Despite being apart in space, time, and intention, the Great Wall of China and the Berlin Wall had a significant historical influence. They provide eternal lessons about the effects of divide and the universal yearning for freedom and unification. They stand as monuments to human ambition, conflict, and tenacity.